Hello, good day, and welcome here on La Talk and Venture Capital TV. My name is Javier Borja, manager of VCTV, and like every session, we're bringing you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. During all those sessions, you get to hear directly from the CEOs of the relevant projects. Today, I'm very glad to present a really cool project, Decentral, presented by Miles Anthony. Miles, how are you?
Good. How's it going, Javier? Xavier?
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you for coming. Before we move on into you, just as a reminder to our viewers, you can see our previous shows and content by visiting latalkin.com/VCTV/shows. Also follow us on our socials like Facebook and Twitter. As an important information, as a reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. So please do your research before you make any decision. It's your choice and your responsibility. With that said, Miles, I think we're ready to move on with very interesting questions. And of course, our audience is able to make any questions they want. Just go to the chat button and then insert your questions on your comments. So, Miles, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your team?
Yeah, definitely. So we started Decentral Games a little over 2.5 years ago. We were just very bullish on the metaverse. We saw the development of Decentraland from the very beginning of their token sale and land sales, and we felt that the model really made sense, and we wanted to be one of the first movers in the space. We wanted to make games that were engaging. We actually didn't start DG until early 2019, so Decentraland had been around for a while. Various members of the DG team had experience building dApps, all types of web applications, games, etc. And so, we saw a huge opportunity to be one of the first movers in this nascent space that we felt had tremendous potential. And so that's when we dove into Decentral Games. Over the course of the last 2.5 years, we've developed all different types of games, starting with very simple like slot machine games, roulette, backgammon, blackjack, and now poker. And so right now our main focus is just scaling our play-to-earn poker game. Essentially, it's a free-to-play, play-to-earn game in the metaverse. And we launched it a little under 3 months ago, and the product market fit has been amazing. So that's really our main focus right now, is our play-to-earn poker game called Ice Poker.
And what's the feedback from the community?
It's been really positive. I mean, it's we really thought about our economics for the play-to-earn economy, and I feel that we made some solid design decisions to start off, and we've been really keeping a close eye on it. As the ecosystem matures, and we've done several different drops to administer all the different Ice Poker NFTs that basically give you access to this play-to-earn metaverse poker game to the community. And so right now we're about at 5,000 daily active players, a little over, so like 5,200 to be exact. And people play every single day, 2 to 4 hours a day. Right now, with the current price of our rewards token, which is ICE, typically a player will earn $50 to $60 on average per day if they play themselves. And they, it's incentive based. So if they do really well, they score on the top of the leaderboard. They can earn up to like $100 to $120 in ICE tokens per day. And then if they do poorly that day, then it's a bit less, maybe like $10 to $20. And so we really wanted to bake in these incentives so that even though it's just a free to play game, you're able to actually play real poker because you have that financial incentive for higher payout based on your performance on the leaderboard. And so the feedback has been really positive.
Oh, great. And these 5,000 people, they're playing the game geographically. Where are they located? Are they the US or overseas?
Yeah, so this game is free play, so it's there's not really any like real money wagering restrictions based on jurisdiction. And so there's players in the US, there's players in Europe, Asia, kind of all over. We have a delegation model built directly into our platform natively, and so it's basically highly inspired by this guild model that we've seen with Axie Infinity and some of the other games that have popped up since then. But with us, we're the first project to build that native delegation directly into our platform, and that's because we kind of see it as a moat. We think it's strategic to be able to have a revenue share administered exactly at the end of each day, so you're paid out trustlessly to the NFT owner and the player. And so this way it avoids a lot of horrible, UX, with, players requiring their NFT owners to kind of pay them every week or so, and kind of trusting them to do that. And so having native delegation, in my opinion, is essential for any play to earn game.
Okay, great, fantastic. Thank you for that information. Can you take us a little bit around the market in itself, the gaming market? What's the situation right now?
I think obviously today we've had a bit of a pullback in the markets, but I think
Yeah.
we're very bullish. I think it's like just in its infancy. Gaming in general, I think has a lot of value to unlock in terms of just in-game items, and when you put those on a blockchain, I think it really aligns your users with the growth and expansion of your game. And so we found that folks are really willing to pay a decent amount of money to invest in these items,
Hmm.
or just like buy them to use them, and so I think it's really a no-brainer to have your in-game items, uh, you know, on a blockchain, and able to have your users able to trade them on exchanges and marketplaces outside of your actual game. And so yeah, I think in terms of gaming plus crypto, I think it's really just getting started. We haven't really had any huge movers in the space yet in terms of big like traditional gaming companies, but I think that the potential is just so large, even though we've seen kind of some blowback from certain like traditional gaming communities. With NFTs and Web3, I think it's really a no-brainer. The value accrual and alignment that you can achieve with these economic systems is just pretty revolutionary, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was interesting. I had an interview with another gaming companies in the metaverse last week, and they thought that the time for the big companies, the big game producers, will come soon. So they're going to be the next ones to start rolling out different new games, mixing it with the metaverse. Do you think the same? Do you think that now it's a time for the big companies to come and take a share of the market?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's interesting though, because the incentives are in place such that they do make a lot of money from their existing
Yeah.
structures. So and obviously, when you're working with like a very large corporation, it is kind of tough to get them to move into a new space that's not really proven in the eyes of a lot of people yet. So, and especially once you see this like blowback from the existing communities that you have, and so you don't really, from their perspective, I see that they don't want to alienate their own communities that aren't really fans of Web3 or crypto. So it's kind of like a fine line for them to walk. You've seen like Ubisoft announcing their NFT integration for one of their games, I believe, a couple months ago, and there was a huge negative sentiment around it within their player community. So I am curious to see how other bigger traditional gaming companies approach this. And if they do, I'm very curious to see which blockchain they decide to use to house their in-game assets.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Same here. That's a big question. Can you tell us a little bit? If we go back a little bit, at the beginning? What is the problem that you foresaw and motivated you and your colleagues to start this project?
And so, yeah, I mean, the main problem that we're solving right now from a user experience standpoint is just
Mhm.
like emptiness in the metaverse. I think everyone believes in the metaverse. They realize, I think at this point, that it's going to be pretty massive. And there's
Yeah.
lots of like innovation that's going to happen around it. You have some of the biggest companies in the world by value. Meta, now Microsoft acquiring Activision. I feel like every single big business is really going to have a metaverse play. And so I think the general public is very convinced. I feel like that the metaverse is going to be big, and so there's kind of this divide between metaverse and open metaverse. Open metaverse being metaverse platforms that are built on blockchains in terms of housing like user assets and currencies. And so the options out there for open metaverse, there's only a few, and Decentraland is one of them. And we saw the potential in Decentraland several years ago. We bought a bunch of land. We actually, in the DG DAO, we hold over 1,000 parcels of land. One of the biggest landowners in the metaverse. And so, the main problem that we're solving, to answer your question, is emptiness. We've created a game that basically has populated our venues and our land in Decentraland. And so at any given time of the day, currently we have around 800 concurrent players in the metaverse. And so typically, I think if you hop into most metaverse scenes, outside of decentral games as land, it's pretty empty, and I think that's a huge problem because the metaverse inherently is supposed to be social. You're supposed to be able to talk
Yeah.
to other people. You're supposed to be able to play games with them, and if there's no one there, then you don't achieve that kind of network effect and stickiness that it's all what it's all about. And so that's kind of the main problem that we're solving is just like producing engaging content, multiplayer content that where the incentives are such that people want to keep coming back every single day, and just basically populating the nascent metaverse because we see huge value in populating the metaverse. I mean, our kind of incentive model is mainly just to get a play to earn game. Right now it's a play to earn poker game, and so people are playing to earn tokens. They use those tokens to upgrade certain items and unlock rarer NFT items. But really, long term, I think there's a tremendous amount of value in just housing the majority of concurrent users in the metaverse. And so, obviously, we haven't really tried to monetize that or anything, but I just feel that fostering that growth and building a brand around that is extremely
Yeah.
valuable. And so that's kind of where we see, DG becoming a leader.
Yeah. Okay, great, great. To our viewers, just as a kind reminder, you can obtain more information about the project. Please go to the website decentral.games. You can obtain more information. You can check it out. You can educate yourself about the project. I encourage our viewers very much to do that. Get familiar with it. Miles, now that we were talking about rewards, and we were talking a little bit before this about the tokens. You have two tokens, right? How does these
Correct.
tokens how do these tokens get involved in the whole project and ecosystem?
So yeah, we have two tokens. One of the first being our governance token, DG, and so basically the DG token governs our treasury. So our
Uh-huh.
treasury generates revenue from our games, royalties. It holds over $15 million of decentralized land. We house the sixth largest Matic Polygon validator node that also generates revenue. So it has kind of like these multiple streams of revenue. Typically, the
Hmm.
DG treasury generates around $3 to $4 million a month in revenue. And so that governance token is basically able to vote on proposals that allocate those funds, to whatever the token holders, wish. And so that's kind of the DG token. The ICE token is our rewards token. And so it's basically just given out to people who have ICE poker wearable NFTs. Basically, that's the equivalent in our case to like an Axie, character that allows you to have access to this play to earn poker game. And so the ICE token is basically rewarded to the folks that are playing ICE poker, our play to earn poker game, and it's administered each day at midnight UTC. And so with those tokens, you're able to upgrade, items. You're able to mint new items when we do mints. And so there's kind of this like constant flow of like ICE tokens, into the community of players, and then those players use and those NFT owners use those ICE tokens to kind of upgrade their appearance in the metaverse. And so that's kind of like our flywheel effect that we achieve with the ICE token. So yeah, summary, yeah,
So
DG is governance token, ICE is our rewards utility token.
yeah, yes, a more utility token, right? Correct. And then
Yes.
when they go into when they become members, which ones do they go for? I guess that most people would go for the ICE token, right? To
Yeah,
acquire ICE.
we've seen both. I mean, the attractive part of DG, I suppose, is the fact there's a cap supply. ICE, there isn't because it's a rewards token and it's basically
Uh-huh.
just minted and burned as the market, conditions change. It's minted for rewards and then it's burned for the upgrade. So there's this constant like flow. And so with any play to earn ecosystem, it's really important to really take a look and keep a close eye on the burn to earn ratio is what we call it. So basically how many tokens are being removed from circulation via upgrades of NFTs, via mints, etc. And then that compared to how many tokens are being earned by your players by, rewards like in the game itself. And so, ideally that ratio would be 1 to 1. So then your token is neither inflationary or deflationary. It's just very stable in terms of supply. I think, like right now, the current market with play to earn games, even though the hype is, pretty big around them, a lot of those tokens are actually highly inflationary, typically with like 10x the amount of tokens being emitted to burn. So that burn to earn would be around 0.1, for example. And so this is actually a huge problem, because it causes inevitably a lot of sell pressure on the token, driving the token price down quite a bit. And so for ICE, obviously we're pretty early. We've only launched ICE Poker less than 3 months ago, but we've seen the burn to earn ratio around 0.7. So basically what that means is for every one ICE token we emit into circulation to our players, 0.7 is burned. So it's actually, a lot more close to, sustainability than many other, play to earn games that are kind of getting popularity right now. And so, yeah, we've been keeping a close eye on this. We do feel strongly that we're going to be able to bring that burn to earn ratio up to 1. That's really what our main, focus is for, expansion as we, expand our user base and, really try to just create a sustainable ecosystem long term.
Okay, great, fantastic. Now let's talk a little bit about the benefits for the investors. What can investors expect when they're going to invest in your token?
I mean, we don't really, pitch it as like an investment. It's mainly just an access. It's like, by owning DG, you have access to this basically this huge treasury. It's over $50 million of value in land, liquid assets, Polygon validator node stake, 6th largest on the network, and a few other, all of our LPs. So we actually self-provide, over $18 million of LP on DEXs because DG hasn't, been listed on any really big exchanges yet. So we actually provide that service from our treasury, with the DG token on, Uniswap and, ICE token on QuickSwap and, also DG on QuickSwap. And so that's really important because we wanted to basically establish these LP positions early on in our treasury so that we didn't have to give away LP rewards because inevitably they just cause a lot of more inflation long term and they're not really sustainable. So that was important. But so yeah, basically when you have access to the DAO, you govern this pool of assets. And so that's what kind of DG holders identify with, and they're very active. We have pretty active governance. I think on our last vote, the voting turnout was really, really positive, really, really substantial. And so for ICE token, obviously people are, buying it in order to upgrade the items quicker. And then obviously, the higher level items are typically have a price floor on the secondary marketplaces that are, higher than, the value of the lower item, the lower level item, plus like the upgrade fee, which is an ICE and DG. And so, that's kind of one of the reasons why people buy the ICE token. So yeah, I mean, there's various different reasons, but I would say, yeah, DG mainly just gives you access to this metaverse native treasury and be part of this metaverse native DAO that has, 4 or 5 different streams of revenue. And then the ICE token just gives you access to this ecosystem where you can upgrade your in-game items to unlock rarer, more valuable items.
Okay, I got it. Then they shouldn't be seen. The token shouldn't be seen as a kind of investment vehicle. It's more like, as you said, ICE especially it's a utility token, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's basically an access pass to participate in this highly profitable metaverse DAO.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, next question. Can you please explain us, and you already spoke a little bit about this, but what makes your project different from the other projects out there, the gaming projects?
I would say, I mean, we've been around for a while. We've been building in the space for several years. We launched the DG token a little over a year ago. And so I think, the main difference, I think there's a lot of really amazing projects building out there in the metaverse and gaming and crypto in general. But, I think, with any project in crypto, a lot of projects in crypto and the Web3 space, basically, have these really, really high, fully diluted valuations and, not really any live products. So I think, for us, I'm not trying to talk poorly about, other projects, but I think like for us, we've proven to our community and, they've been really happy with the progress that we've been able to achieve in the last year since the DG token's been live and since we launched on mainnet, and in the last 3 months, especially since we launched ICE Poker. So it's it's been amazing for them to see, you know, the progress, because we push updates several times a week. We are, you know, our community is very, very happy with the amount of the speed that we're able to ship new features in. And so, yeah, I think if you were to ask our community, that would probably be one of the top differentiators, is the fact that, you know, we've been able to show and prove to everyone that we can deliver, and we'll continue delivering, you know, over the next several years, you know. So, yeah, I think that's probably one of the main differentiators.
Okay, thank you.
Being live.
Can you show us? Do you have a demo? Can you show us
Yeah, I
what
can
it
share
looks
my
like?
screen. Definitely. Let's see. How about that? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I
So
can see.
yeah, this is one of our lounges. You can see, like, it's very populated. There's lots of metaverse users. This is my avatar, and so yeah, people are just playing nice poker. This is our player and poker game. This lounge is entire. It's called the Stronghold. It's entirely for ice poker. There's 10 different tables here, so these people are playing
Hmm.
ice poker right here.
I mean, this
Um,
is live, right? I mean, these people are playing right now.
yeah, this is live. This is live. I can emote and stuff. And so yeah, right now we have 775 concurrent players playing in the metaverse. And you know, this is kind of like one of our strengths right now. I mean, it's really you know, uncommon for there to be you know, this many concurrent users of the metaverse. Typically,
Yeah,
in
I'm
a lot of
surprised for that. Yeah,
yeah, I
definitely.
mean, just because it's so, you know, early on. And so yeah, this is you know, one of many venues. As you can see, we have 3 total ice poker venues. And so yeah, I do see tremendous value, and you know, as many big brands will try to appeal and have a metaverse presence, I think, you know, housing the majority of the metaverse concurrent players is you know, going to be very valuable for DG, you know, especially as the space matures. And so yeah, this basically the gameplay is you play poker at one of these tables. You can join any one of these tables, and then you're able to basically have these 3 challenges allocated for you. They're random challenges. You have an easy, medium, and hard challenge. Basically, you should be able to attain these every, you know, typically within like 2 to 3 hours for the hard one. These easy and medium ones are typically a bit quicker. And so right here, you can see the rewards, like for each challenge. You know, you get some ice tokens allocated to you, XP points, you know, allocated to you as well. And then, you know, based on, you know, the NFTs that you hold. So right now I'm actually wearing 5 NFTs. So I have a, you know, a pretty sizable bonus. You're able to earn ice tokens. So basically you have a multiplier for your NFT count, your NFT bonuses added up for each NFT has like a specific percentage bonus, and then tournament multiplier. And so basically the tournament multiplier is based on your performance on this leaderboard over here. It's broken up into 20 different tiers, so based on percentile. And so
Mhm.
essentially you can, you know, if you score at the top of this leaderboard, you get 2x, and if you're at the bottom, you get 0.3x. And so that really impacts your expected ice earnings. And so then at the end of each day at midnight UTC, you're paid out in ice tokens on our site. And so basically you can go to here, and then you just claim your rewards. And so basically, you know, you can see, let's see. One other thing I wanted to touch upon is, like, we have the native delegation built directly into our platform. And so, like, basically you're able to claim your ice rewards. You're able to delegate out your NFTs directly to other players. And so there's a automatic revenue share, you know, for the NFTs that you delegated them out to, or to the NFTs that you delegate out to players.
Is this something like an NFT marketplace?
Yeah, so right here, this is just your account page. So these are all the NFTs that I own,
Okay.
essentially. And then, you know, our marketplace right now, like you can see, here's our DAO treasury, by the way, Ice Poker. So if you go to our marketplace tab, right now we just do our drops on this. So these are all the different lines that we've dropped. Typically, you know, we started out with the suit, moved on to like like this coat, like linens, bomber, and then crypto drip, founding fathers, and then the ice joker was our last one. And so typically, you know, we would drop these to the community. We started out by doing 100 count per item, so 500 total NFTs in a drop. And so, but our last one, these have been 250 per item. So this drop, the ice joker drop, was 1,250 total NFTs, and it was priced at 0.5 ETH. And so, yeah, these, the demand for them has been pretty wild, considering the amount of yield they generate in playing.
Hmm.
And you just need one to play. And so, like, our secondary market for the NFTs has been definitely going up. Like, our floor price is a little bit under 2 ETH now, which is about a 4x from our mint price. And so, yeah, the demand has been pretty sizable for these items. And you can see people wearing them in the metaverse, like basically what I'm wearing here.
Yeah, nice. Can you interact with other gamers if you wanted to?
Yeah. So you can go up to anyone, you can chat with them. You can see the chat on the bottom left here.
Yeah.
They're playing. You can talk with them. You can do voice chat. You can emote. There's all types of things that you can do. And so basically, right now our whole in-game economy is based on these wearable items. And we have a lot of different ideas that we're going to be adding as well to just kind of create a bit more economic activity within the ecosystem.
Okay. And this concrete metaverse that we're watching right now, how long it took you to develop?
So we've been building this metaverse environment for the last like 2 years or so, a little over 2 years. This game specifically, Ice Poker, we've been working on. Well, I wrote the white paper for Ice Poker in about August, I think, of 2021.
Hmm.
Obviously inspired by a lot of the play to earn games, including Axie, and like got to learn from what they did really well, and got to improve upon things that they didn't really see initially that they experience with their game. And so I think we were in a really lucrative position because we actually had a lot of games already built in the metaverse. We had a really great community, metaverse native, crypto native community that was familiar with Web3 products, and had crypto in the MetaMask. And so I basically saw the opportunity over the summer, late summer, to roll out this play to earn poker game. And so we announced it September 1st to the community. That's when I published the white paper, and then we launched like October 30th. So yeah, it's been a little under 3 months with this specific game. But it was highly based on some of our previous games. Basically, the innovation really was around token economics and creating a sustainable ecosystem
Hmm.
that incentivizes that daily active player to keep coming back.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. I love the looks for it because I've seen other metaverses and they don't seem as developed as yours, especially because the amount of people, the community you have there, like right now, that's also impressive.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been really fun, and I think it's really important to have that physical appearance and be able to see other avatars that you're playing with and chat with them, because it's a very social experience. And because like our whole in-game economy is based around these items that you put on your avatar. And so a lot of people in this community like to accumulate the top items, the flashiest items, so that they can show off they can like kind of virtually flex within the metaverse. And so without that social visual like 3D environment, like it's not as appealing to accumulate these top assets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Now let's go a little bit to your roadmap. Where do you see the project in the next 3 years?
So I mean that's 3 years is like probably 100 in crypto.
Yeah,
But I think
we
we're
can narrow it down to 1 year.
No, it's okay. It's okay. 3 years is fun. I would say, we have like massive aspirations for DG and Ice Poker. We think that we've created a system, an economic system that really, has innovated in the play to earn space, and
Hmm.
crypto gaming in general. And so we think that by the end of this year, undoubtedly we'll be the number one poker site in the world by concurrence. It's really around like 7 to 8 thousand concurrent players. For this is for cash games, obviously. Where there's actually a reward for winning. That's 7 to 8 thousand concurrent players right now. We're roughly at 800, so we just need a 9 or 10x our user numbers to get there. And I think it'll be impressive when we do it in the metaverse. So we feel that we can be one of the leaders in the metaverse. House the most like concurrent players in the metaverse, which I think is going to be extremely valuable, as many brands are trying to big brands, multi-billion-dollar brands are trying to target those types of users. And so, we haven't even touched the surface of that, value accrual with regards to, just concurrent metaverse users. And then also, we have plans to roll out our own native mobile app, and we feel that that's going to be huge for us to be able to scale even further in terms of user numbers, because we've actually seen the floor of our NFTs is really high. It's kind of inaccessible to a lot of folks, even though we dropped them for our last drop was 0.5 ETH. They're 2 ETH now on the secondary, so a lot of people, don't really have the ability to, buy one themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They can receive delegation to one for free, which is accessible to anyone. But then, they have to find an NFT owner and then, receive that delegation directly. So, anyways, the mobile product that we have planned, we plan on rolling it out end of this quarter, so sometime in March, by end of March for sure. And then we want to keep the same economics that we have currently, which have been really working well, but just have a bit higher quantity, because mobile is a lot more scalable, and we have more control over user experience in general.
Yeah.
But obviously the price point we're going for the mobile is going to be a bit lower, just to have it be more accessible to more people for ownership. Yeah.
Great. Do you plan to have any other games other than poker? Although poker will be your main field, your main goal.
Yeah, definitely. We've built like several other games. Backgammon is one other game that I
Okay.
really enjoyed building. We could make that kind of integrated into play to earn potentially. But yeah, right now our main focus is the poker, just because the product market fit is just off the charts compared to every other game that we've built. Every single day, 2 to 4 hours a day is a lot of engagement for our average user, and we just really want to keep building and improving and iterating upon that product that we've seen that just people really love in our community, and then just make it more accessible through a mobile application, so you can play if you're walking down the street, or sitting on your couch, without having to be at like a desktop to experience the ice poker and earn tokens. So yeah, that's kind of our main focus, is really just iterating on ice poker for now, but we would love to make other games as well to expand the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, great, fantastic. Miles, we're getting close to the end of the show, but before we let you go, do you have any final words for our viewers today?
I would say, thanks for having me on, by the way. I would say just when you're analyzing these play to earn economies, I think it's really important. We've seen a lot of them, rise up really quickly and then dump really hard. And so I think, the economics are really, and incentives are really, important. And so like, if you're analyzing a play to earn economy, you really have to look for a few things, kind of like the burn to earn ratio. You have to look at the community, like, do they actually love the product? Do they actually like playing the game? Would they play the game without the rewards? That's
Mm-hmm.
something that you need to kind of analyze. And then also something that we've really been focusing on recently, and kind of was included in one of our recent governance proposals, one of the ones that I submitted on Monday, actually, that just passed, we implemented already, is basically you need upward mobility. Basically, this thing called upward mobility is, it's, for lack of a better word, it's basically what I've been kind of thinking about over these last several weeks. It's essentially, you need ecosystem, which is kind of like its own mini economy. Any play to earn game is like a mini economy, basically, where like the DAO is the government, essentially. The NFT holders and the players are like citizens. Like
Mm-hmm.
immigration or user growth is like immigration into your country. And so, yeah,
Okay.
you got to start thinking about things like a country economist. And so what's really important in the case of thinking about things as an economist is you really have to have this potential for upward mobility within the ecosystem. And so for us, our kind of user journey and funnel is basically free delegated player. Someone can receive delegation to one of our NFTs and play for free and earn tokens. So they have zero, upfront cost. Basically, just have to find someone to delegate to them, and they can do that natively on our platform. So from there, and then you need to go to player owner. So that jump needs to be incentivized. So like free delegated player to player owner, basically someone that mints their own NFT, holds their own NFT,
Mhm,
earns
mhm.
100% of the rewards. And then from player owner, the next step is guild manager. So right now we have almost 2,000 native ice poker guilds within our community because we have that native delegation in our platform. And so the guild manager basically is someone who either owns several NFTs, plays with one, and then delegates each other out for passive income, or just manages a bunch of players themselves. And so it's really important to have that upward mobility and have incentives along the way to incentivize each step.
Okay,
Because
great.
basically that just shows people that it's better to reinvest the rewards instead of
Uh-huh.
market sell. Basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Miles, once again, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for sharing. It is a great project. I was really blown away with it. It looks
Thank you,
so cool, the metaverse. It's amazing.
thanks,
Uh,
Xavier.
well, we'll hope to see you again. When you have any new developments, then feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to have you here. And definitely thank you very much to our viewers also. And we'll have a great day and stay safe. Thank you, Miles.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Xavier.